Hello everyone, this is PZ Snick Snipe here, and today I'll be casting game number 3 between oGsSuperNoVa and LiquidZenio during the IEM World Championships. This is a best of 5, and the current score is actually 1-1. The last game was on Antigua Shipyard, where Supernova was basically able to hold off Zenio's all-ins. So right now they are playing on Tal'Darim Altar. This map is actually somewhat decent for Terran, depending on the spawns. If they spawn diagonally, then that makes it harder for the Terran due to how far it is just to reach their base. But since they are close position, this is actually quite favorable for Supernova. So once Zenio finds out that they're actually close position, he might stick to his more aggressive tendencies, because it is actually harder to take a third on this map due to rocks, and if you decide to take this third before, it leaves it quite vulnerable to early aggression. So to start off, we see Supernova going with 1 Rax, no gas at 13, so this could be very well be a 1 Rax expand. Zenio on the other hand is following up with standard 15 hatch. He'll probably go to a 17 pull judging by his worker count right now. And let's see, still no gas from Supernova, so this probably is definitely a 1 Rax expand. Now the only thing that I'm surprised he's not doing is just bothering to wall this off. But I suppose he's just gonna end up walling off with depots because he's not expecting Zogans anytime soon. If Zenio had done a blind 6 pull or something, that would actually be pretty good in the case like this. But obviously there's no 6 pull happening, so that's more of a risky build if you know your opponent constantly does this. If you know your opponent's playstyle, Supernova is just, I don't really see 6 pulls in any other games, to be honest. It's probably nothing that Zenio would want to risk on right now. Now he did take his pull already and gas. Supernova was already scouting the wrong position, but I'm not sure if. Oh, okay, I was about to say I'm not sure if Supernova saw that Overlord because he wasn't reacting with the Marine. And he's obviously not going to kill it. This is a perfect spot to position your Overlord. You can also position it like somewhere over here. Right here, I'm sorry. If you position it here or here, the Terran will not be able to see it until they left either a barracks or any other building, or until they get a dropship or something. And now we have Supernova scouting the right path. He knew that after scouting over here that Zenio was not over there, but when he saw the Overlord, he automatically knew that Zenio spawned in the bottom right across from him, simply just because the Overlord showed itself. And actually Zenio, I don't know why he had his Overlord right here. He could have actually made it like go slowly across there, because he still wasn't sure where Supernova was, since he didn't send out a drone scout anywhere yet. And we already see Lynx being going for Zenio. Bunker being thrown down for Supernova, so nothing too out of the ordinary right now. We do see a factor opening, so you'll probably see maybe reactor Hellions, well, maybe not into a third, but there's a popular build going around that Terrans do lately. It's they'll go 1 Rax expand into reactor Hellions into a fast third. And basically that just lets them, it basically contains the Zerg unless they go like fast roaches or a roach aggression or maybe a 2 base all in, and it just lets the Terran be able to sit in their base getting it faster without having to worry too much. Plus they'll be able to scout around the Zerg to see if anything's coming and to react accordingly by like probably throwing mass bunkers down. And let me just change the sound for right now, it seems a little bit loud. Okay, it's kind of loud still, so okay, that should be slightly better. We do see another factory, so Supernova's probably going to go into mech play. Hang on, guys, sorry about this. Have to keep it equally. Have to be balanced. Okay. Alright, so he's already throwing down a spine crawler. I'm not sure if he knows there's reactor Hellions. Nope, he does not know. See, if he had the Overlord right there, he'd be able to see the reactor Hellions, so he would know it's coming. I mean, right now, I'm not sure if... Oh, Supernova's going double reactor Hellions. Okay, so this could be really damaging unless Zenio is able to hold it off perfectly, which, in the case of mass Hellions, 4 Hellions at a time, that's pretty hard to do. Especially if you're not walled off in the front like this, because he's obviously not walled off. But he is going a Roach Forge, so that's pretty good for him in this case. He's going to see the Hellions now because he has a watchtower. So I'm curious to see how he's going to react. If he's going to build maybe a wall front, like Evolution Chambers or something, or if he's just going to try to hold it off with perfect unit micro and maybe a couple of roaches. So like I said, it's already 7 minutes, and his rocks are only halfway there. So the rocks do definitely slow this down. So he's probably gonna have a stronger arming composition than you would see on any other normal game. But then again, this is Zenio, and he is pretty aggressive at times, as we've seen. And we do see a tech lab. He's probably, I'm not sure if he's gonna get blue flame or not, but we'll have to wait and see. There's 4 Hellions in the front, just looking around for any creep tumors to spot. Zenio's being pretty smart about his creep right now. He's not trying to spread it around, because Supernova can move around easily enough. But now that he has roaches, he's perfectly able to hold this off and spread creep. He should. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't kill the third, but so Supernova's build is actually pretty much countered at this point, unless he goes in the main like this. He's gonna deny creep tumors first, but he didn't manage to kill it, so it was kind of pointless. And so far these Hellions have not been useful at all. Zenio's getting roaches, but right now he can't do anything. And the Hellions are actually getting in. That was pretty sloppy by Zenio, to be honest, but that wasn't too bad of a Lynx round. But Supernova's not being too great with the Hellions. I mean, let's see how many workers he's able to kill. So right now, I would say the Hellions were pretty much a waste. He's killed 5 drones, and he lost like 8 Hellions, and he killed a couple of Zerglings. So that's pretty much not worth it, because not only does going double factory reaction plane slow your tech down, but they're also mineral expensive. And he's not even going mech, surprisingly, after opening double factory. I mean, the standard is to get 2 factories later on, but now his bio is definitely behind. So I could put it right now. I would say Zenio has the favor, even though he did build all these roaches for not just to counter the Hellions. He's still able to take a Spire. He's gonna take his third before Supernova does. Supernova hasn't even started his third, and Supernova's bio units are way behind. He doesn't have upgrades yet, like 1-1. He doesn't have Stim Pack yet, even though it's almost done. He doesn't have combat shields. He still doesn't research siege mode, surprisingly, even though he has enough resources to. And this Overseer is gonna die. I don't know why he did that. That was kind of sloppy, to be honest. Like I said, he could just put it all over here, or he could just gone over here and dropped the Changeling, then gone back. So we do see roach speed. Wow. Maybe Zenio's going for a timing attack. Or, I mean, not a timing attack, I'm sorry. Maybe he's just going for a roach Zergling Baneling Mutilus composition, which, that sounds actually kind of weird, to be honest. I figured he would just build the roaches to counter the Hellions and then transition, but maybe he expects that Supernova is going mech, because he did open up double factory, and he hasn't seen anything over here yet, so he's not sure. He still can't be judged. He still sees Hellions on the field, but there is no blue flame, so... And these Hellions are really doing nothing. I don't agree with what Supernova has done. Like, I would say right now the game is, even though Supply says differently, the game is definitely in Zenio's favor. So it looks like Supernova might just do a 2-base all-in. He still has no third, and it's already 11 minutes into the game. That's very late for a third, to be honest, for a Terran player. Usually you would expect the third, like the command center, to be finished building at around 12 minutes. At the most usually. And it's not like he suffered through any aggression. It's just that his aggression failed earlier. But right now he's going for a very strong timing attack. He still doesn't come. Oh, he's about to have it done now. I'd like to see if he could get a starport. Oh, there it is. So never mind. So this could actually, what I said earlier. Even though Zenio looked like he was in a good position, right now this isn't looking good. This is why this map is pretty good for Terran. You can flank, or you can position your tanks on the high ground and start dropping Marines up and down on the cliffs. And as you can see, Zenio can't really harvest, but he's actually, it looks like he's about to gear up for an attack. There's 6 siege tanks, so I'm thinking this isn't going to work out too well for Zenio. Yeah, that's just definitely did not work out at all. Yeah, it looks like Zenio's going to end up losing this game. There's still 5 tanks down here. He does not seem to have enough to counter this dropping force. And it definitely does look like Supernova was definitely just going for all-in off 2 bases. This is kind of surprising, to be honest. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know when this macro hatch was put down, but it looks like it was pretty late, to be honest. upgrades aren't only 0-1. To be honest, I'm not sure why Zenio doesn't have as much as at this time in the game. 13 minutes in the game, and he's barely at 122 supply. He hasn't lost. Oh, he's lost a lot of units now after this push and after that failed attack. It doesn't look like his drone macro is, I guess, greedy enough early on. Like when he saw the Hellions, he just didn't drone enough. He still just kept on building roaches and units. And his third was late, and I believe his macro hatch was like after 8 minutes, to be honest. And all the creep is gone right now. There's pretty much nothing Zenio can be able to do right now. Even though he was technically a little bit ahead because of Supernova's wasted tech early on that did no damage. It seems like his macro this game was what held him back the most. He's in that position where he countered the Hellions easily enough. He should have droned up, in my opinion, to a much higher drone count. As we see, he's only lost 19 workers, and he only has, well, he has 57 now, but I'm pretty sure during this attack he was never at like 65 even. And this attack hit around 12 minutes, so it just looks like his macro this game in terms of, well, he's just not a very greedy Zerg player from what I've seen. He punishes Terrans pretty well. He's a pretty aggressive Zerg. You don't really see a style like this in American servers that often. And if you do, it's usually just a 2-base timing attack, or like roach sling, simple, easy stuff to stop, and scout. Yeah, at this point there's way too many tanks. Zenio really can't stop that at this point. His upgrades are they behind now? Yeah, they're gonna be about equal. I mean, they're actually equal technically, but this fight doesn't look like it's gonna go in Supernova's favor until he moves back to the tanks. And does Supernova know about this phase? Right now the only thing that Zenio has in his favor is he does have Needleless to keep the Terran either contained in his base or out here. Otherwise, he can use the Needleless to come over here and just pick off any units that try to lead forward. And I don't agree with this right here, but it looks like it might work. Yeah, it'll definitely work. There's enough units to clear up the rest, or at least the tanks, which is the most important thing. But to be honest, Zenio could have done that a lot differently. He could have waited a while and like just kept his units out. Because right there was so many tanks positioned. I understand his point that he wants to break this positioning before he gets extremely overpowered to the point where he can't break it because there's like 10 tanks. But he could have waited a little bit longer, maybe to catch off Supernova, or at least to get. I think Infestus would have been better at this point if he's going Roach Tech, especially. His Mulists are really gas heavy, even though he has a lot of gas. And they're just like they're not as useful in cases like this where you see a lot of bio units and shit. So yeah, he's gonna have free reign on the main. This is not good for Zenio. Imagine if he had Burrow Banelings right here. Supernova wouldn't have known. But his Burrow is far from being finished. So at this point he's definitely gonna lose this a lot over here. He needs now is the time for him to attack, though, to be honest. He should be force firing the tanks to the Needleless, even though they'll end up dying. And right now he is going to clear this attack up, but he did seem to lose a lot, honestly. And Supernova's finally taking a third base. I think if he took a third base sooner, he could have been able to be in a better position, because right now Zenio's still on 3 bases. His attack could have done more damage. I'm not sure why he didn't snipe the infrastructure, like his spawning pool, the roach warren, even the evolution chamber. It seems like he just didn't press attack over here and didn't really focus. This army looks like if Zenio spots it, he's already spawned it. He's definitely gonna clean this up. This is gonna be a loss of a lot of units unless he lifts them up, picks them up, drops them over there. He's doing that right now, which is good, but needs to pick them up faster. We do see some missed rallied units. Zenio's just gonna go around and clean this up, basically. And it still hasn't done that much damage, I don't think. Or maybe he did. So here's the flank, he's gonna destroy this early enough. Yeah, right now, even though Supernova had a pretty good spot early on. Or no, here's how the game flowed. First off, Zenio was in a good position because he held off that Hellion double factory reactors really easy, losing only 5 drones, and but at that point I don't think he was greedy enough, and SuperNova decided to pretty much go for like a 2-base all-in. The reason why I say it's all-in is because his third was built at like 18 minutes. If he built it sooner, I think it would have been much better for SuperNova. Right now, it looks like Zenio is definitely going to win this, simply just because he's already got his 4th up. Technically, this is his 4th, I guess. But only thing Zenio's lagging behind in is upgrades. He's still 1-1 at 20 minutes. Probably due to all the pressure, because he's trying to focus on keeping his bases alive. SuperNova is also at 1-1, but neither player. Well, he has +2 attack on his flyers, but I would like to see some draw plays. But at this point in the game, SuperNova is really in a tight spot right now. He does have his 3rd. Now I don't know if Zenio doesn't know about that, but he's probably he's about to fly into there to find it. So I'm curious to see whether or not Zenio's gonna just try to take it out, or if he's just gonna just sit and wait. Because right now he's in a pretty good spot, like I said. He's already wow, he's gonna be on 3 bases now technically for SuperNova. I'd like to see some infestors, but this is even better. Burrowed banelings, and he has them. Oh, he only has them in that spot. He probably could have dropped this down here. I mean, it still wouldn't kill that many drones. But it looks like he'll stop the extractor for a little bit. Zenio's going heavy meterless. And that's pretty good in a scenario like this. SuperNova's not very rich, nor is he getting upgrades at this point. Meterless, I would say you need to stop building meterless after 20 minutes in a game where a normal game, not a game like this, because meterless are pretty much eaten alive by meterless. And I mean, meterless are pretty much eaten alive by marines and Thors if they get them. But in a case like this, where Zenio has an overwhelming army count and he's also pretty much on par with upgrades, at this point it doesn't matter. Having a lot of meterless is good because he can just like harass the 1 or 2 missile turrets in the base. In this case, there's none. So what we're about to see right now is probably either he's gonna destroy, he's gonna destroy this base down here definitely. He doesn't want SuperNova to get a strong economy now. That was kind of worrying. He needs to keep. If you ever have tanks like this, try to keep your marines split out, like some over here, some over here, some over here. Because that way, in case Neelers try to flock in, you'll be able to defend them instantaneously. And also, at the same point, you don't want to keep your marines pumped up, because if you're looking away and he attacks you with this army and he surrounds you before you can split your marines or control them, then you're pretty much going to be screwed. And this is the thing about going mass Neelers in games like this. Even though it isn't very effective late game, it takes out turrets like nothing. And bases like this are hard for SuperNova to get to, because obviously the map is built like that. He has to walk all the way around here, or he can drop down here. But with Meeless, this many Meeless, there's no point in dropping units. So instead, he's gonna be like, okay, we'll just trade bases, or I'll just try to kill you. I'm gonna lose my 3rd. I can't save it in time, so I might as well fight. So this is gonna basically be determined by how well SuperNova can control his units and position them, and how badly Zenio can engage his army. I don't think that Zenio has a chance of losing this game. He's getting his 5th up. He has 5 hatcheries to produce units off. He's still only almost 1-2, but I mean at this point his army count is just way too high. So we're about to probably see SuperNova GG in about 2 or 3 minutes when they engage. And there's not much else to talk about this game, but I'll just say that if SuperNova had gotten his 3rd up before like 18 minutes or however long it took it to get him, he could have potentially won. Maybe. Because right now his economy is turning so bad, and then his push got destroyed by the positioning of Zenio over here when he flanked it hard. Yeah, so he cleans his attack up pretty damn easily. There's not a thing that SuperNova. So basically, SuperNova, when he saw his double reactor factory fail, he was probably thinking, man, he probably has his 3rd up, or he's getting his 3rd or 4th up. So right now, I need to go kill him, or at least do a super strong timing attack. Because early on in the game, Zerg is pretty weak at like 12 minutes, especially when you have 5 tanks and 30 marines, and you're able to position right out underneath this natural. And basically, I think the flaws of SuperNova was that he had a good contain. He was able to kill most. The first time Zenio decided to attack, he was able to kill that. But the problem is he let this base get established. So even though he destroyed this, Zenio was still at 3 bases, and then he finished his macro hatch like pretty late, but still he was able to produce units off 4 hatcheries. It was pretty close though. but Zenio is basically able to win due to time. If SuperNoVa moved out sooner, he probably could have ended the game. And let's see. Yeah, I really think that if he destroyed these rocks and built the third faster, like during the contain, maybe slow down unit production, it would have been a really good thing for him. But his third was just way too late, and he tilted it over here, which is really hard to defend. Usually you take this as a fourth base in most cases. I think the reason why he didn't build it down here is because he didn't kill the rocks, and that's due to because he's trying to. His mental process is like, I need to go kill him now, because he's gonna take a third and fourth base, and I'm not taking a third right now. So, alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and go on to game number 4 between these two. Right now the score is 2-1. Stay tuned if you guys like this. I will be casting some more videos in a short while, and I might even be casting Stefano versus Polt at the Texas Lone Star Invitational. So I'll see you